When I thought about circle formations, I wondered, how am I going to get all of these children with their varied needs and abilities and challenges? How am I going to get them all to the circle, participate in the circle, follow the expectations and the guidelines of circle? Can this even be done with this class? I really wondered that.
Welcome to Relationships First, Restorative Justice Education in Newfoundland and Labrador. Our first video, Ripples of Relationship, introduced a holistic understanding of how relationships are integral to every aspect of education. In this video, we begin to answer the nitty-gritty, honest questions teachers have about applying this in their contexts. In particular, we are addressing concerns such as, I love the idea, but my classroom is too small. Or, yes, but I don't teach in a consistent space. Or, it will take too much time to form the circle. Or even, my students will never cooperate. These are valid concerns that gradually dissipate when educators realize restorative justice education is holistic, a way of being together. Then, their creativity takes hold and they see opportunities for and variations of circles everywhere. As you watch, identify how the physical circle provides opportunity for the three interconnected components of healthy learning environments to come to life: creating just and equitable learning environments, nurturing healthy relationships, and repairing harm and transforming conflict. Also note how the core belief that all people are worthy and interconnected can be embodied, and how the values of respect, dignity, and mutual concern can come to life.
I think the open shape of the circle makes people feel like they're more welcome, and you don't have the same body language, people closing each other off by facing only certain people. The circle really allows for open communication, and you're all focused on the one point, which is the center, so everybody feels more connected, like they're part of something bigger.
I think in grade 6, one of the biggest challenges for me and my class and the dynamic of my class was being able to move into a circle formation seamlessly.
Reimagine your spaces for circling. There are hundreds of ways to arrange people into a circle. Along with the actual circle, there are 4 circle elements to keep in mind. A centerpiece, symbolic of the group or topic, provides a focus point for participants. A cloth, a plant, a toy, a quote. A set of guidelines, preferably created by the group, is a reminder of agreements made to honor each other while in circle. The talking piece is carefully chosen and moderates the discussion as it is passed from person to person. When received, each can hold it as they speak, take a time of silence, or pass it on if they do not wish to share. The others listen or share the silence. A talking piece should be an object of importance for the group or circle facilitator. It can also be a symbol of the topic. Share the story of its significance to build appreciation and respect.
So the talking piece that we're using today is this beautiful rock. It's hand painted and it's really special to me. It was given to me as a Christmas gift, so it's really special to me. So as with all talking pieces, we respect it as we pass it around our circle.
Finally, remember to use open-ended topics or questions with participants, questions that don't have a right or wrong answer associated with them. As soon as possible, students can take responsibility for creating the center, picking a talking piece, suggesting a topic, and facilitating. The wonder of the circle is that it allows for power to be shared amongst participants. All people can see each other and all are positioned at the same level. Dominant students learn to wait. Quiet students do not have to assert themselves to speak out. And as the teacher, you too only speak when it's your turn, unless the guidelines are not followed.
In a circle, the role of the teacher is almost equivalent to the students, and it feels that instead of an authority figure instructing you on what you're supposed to do and how to do it, it feels like somebody is engaging in conversation with you, allowing you to open up and express your opinions and feelings about the topics that you're learning, rather than maybe only the same 2 or 3 students engage because nobody else really feels comfortable. In a circle, everyone's comfortable.
Okay, boys and girls, I'd like for you to come get into circle, please.
Floor circles are ideal for short sessions and provide a movement break. Students move from their desks to the floor. Pillows or carpet squares are helpful.
The best thing about circling is you can hear everyone else's ideas and you can say your own without worrying that they'll go out of the circle. And I also like that there are educational circles and fun circles.
One thing that I know now is that it's really quite simple to organize 33 desks in a small classroom to run a circle. So the physical layout is quite simple to arrange. I also know now that circles are a great way to cover your content, the objectives that you set out for a particular class. And it's a really amazing way for students to share their experiences, their thoughts, their feelings. And what I've noticed in circles is that students actually look at each other as they're speaking, and they actually listen to each other. So it's a great way for forming relationships.
With movable chairs and an open classroom space, transitioning from desks to circle happens quickly. These are ideal for longer sessions.
In a French immersion classroom, much of our focus is on oral language, and circles provide every student with a chance to use their voice. They can speak in a safe and inclusive environment, and they really listen to each other. The element of risk-taking is gone because they feel safe, and it's just a fabulous opportunity for everyone to speak and be heard.
For very quick rounds, invite your students to stand around the periphery of your classroom or within an open space. In this classroom, you can see how a large group of students could fit around the outside of the desks.
Once we got kids into the circle, then I guess your challenge is getting them to open up and get into the idea of sharing things that they're not really used to sharing. Every day we do a circle, and it just gets better each day that we go along. Until now, it's a seamless effort. We just say, okay, boys and girls, let's come join circle. And they all come and they get the rules and lay them out and do our middle part, and it worked out great.
The space in a classroom might not always be conducive to circling. Inside the classroom, nurturing a relational ethos is still possible if you remember to find ways to give all a voice for sharing. Also, remember other accessible spaces. Hallways and foyers can be ideal. Notice how this class works together to include all the circle elements. Consider auditoriums, empty classrooms, or the library. Remember the importance of circles that combine different grade levels. General meeting spaces are especially appropriate then. Circles outside provide a connection between both our physical space and an appreciation for our environment. This high school health class uses a circle to introduce concepts involved in their activity.
I now know that circles do not have to be timely, nor do they have to be formal. Circles can take place outside the building on my way to go for a walk with my healthy living class. It can take place in my nutrition lab, before lab begins, after lab is over. Basically, for me, circles are an opportunity to allow students to be mindful of their surroundings, of their experiences. And most times, students didn't even really actually realize that they were engaging in restorative justice.
When considering the physical formation of a circle, Important questions to ask yourself include: have the students been invited to come to circle? Can everyone see each other? Is there a center focus and a talking piece? Is the topic open-ended? Are students comfortable and ready to engage? Finally, a note on students who have special needs, decline the invitation to come to circle or disrupt the circle. Remember that above everything, circles are invitational and students come when they are ready. At times, students might participate from outside the circle as observers. At other times, students will need to leave the circle if their needs exceed the skills required to stay in circle. As in all education, modify the circle to ensure that all students can be present, remembering to always ask, do my students feel they are being honored? What message are they receiving about their value as human beings?
As an administrator, when I walk past classrooms and see circles being done, I sense a strong sense of community, relational cultures growing and expanding. I feel so proud of what I see with the work that my teachers are doing and the integrated approaches they're taking with circles. The students are benefiting immensely, and they in turn are connecting with other people that they wouldn't normally have connected with.
The practical elements of implementing relationships first restorative justice education require a shift in thinking about who we are as human beings and how we live in educational environments. A variety of circle formations help to nurture relational spaces of authentic belonging. By overcoming concerns about how to put a group into a circle, the real benefits of putting relationships first in education emerge.
The best thing about circling to me is that you get to learn a lot of new things and how other people feel, and you don't have to worry about people judging you because what you say, it stays in the circle.
I think using the circle in a classroom is really fun. It gives students an opportunity to get up out of their seats and to shake off just whatever they're feeling and to talk with classmates about something that may be going on. And I think using it makes teachers and students connect better in a classroom setting.
When I first started teaching, I had a conversation with another colleague, and I remember standing in the hallway and saying, it's about relationships. So doing this program this past year has sort of brought me back to that very day when we said, life is about relationships. Having relationships with your colleagues, having relationships with your spouse, having relationships with anybody you meet on the street, essentially. So I think that's the one thing that's kind of grounded me and brought me back to, yeah, relationships first. Life really is all about relationships.